Oh, hi, I'm Rayford, and thank you for joining me for some more Paragon. So, I've gotten some requests to do some offlane reviews of some heroes, and Aurora being the latest hero, and one that's actually kind of frequently requested to play. I thought I'd just go ahead and throw her out next. She's definitely an interesting character with, I feel like, a very high skill cap, but they can be used in very interesting ways. I've gotten to play a few games as her. She is a ton of fun, actually. She brings a lot to the table and can really set up either your own kills or team kills, really. So, without further ado, we're going to dive into her skins, look at her abilities, how I build her, and then we'll also go ahead and showcase some gameplay. So, without the further ado, here's some skins. Now, if you look, we got her default Aurora. I do like the fact that her character design is super interesting. Apparently, in the lore, this right arm isn't actually hers, which I think is pretty cool. And I do appreciate how the sword kind of changes the shimmering effect from stone to ice to stone. I don't know. And the left side of her body is basically just ice. It looks pretty rad. Plus, little booty. Diving over to Challenger Aurora, it basically trades out some of the blue for some more red. So now her little sword looks like it's on fire, her left side looks like it's on fire, her hair looks like it's on fire, her dress looks like it's on fire, and that might be because you've got the fire in you, girl. You probably won't survive it. So all in all, I'd say it's a pretty decent little recolor. Then we have the Master Aurora, where, it's basically everything that was fire is now just actually literally fire, with the exception of her dress. Now it's this cool, little black effect, and you got this cool little stenciling and stuff. So, eat your heart out. And we've also got Moon Crystal Aurora, so she's purple and silver and green. I feel like it's a lovely collection of colors, very pretty. Oh, and also I didn't even notice, her hair changes color, so it's it was purple, now it's blue, now it's purple again, and then back to a blue. That's actually super cool. I dig that. Switching over to her abilities really quick, you have left click, which is her just basic attack. It's just a melee attack, really. Her right click is Frozen Simulacrum, so Aurora leaps 700 units in the direction she is moving, leaving behind an icy statue of herself. The replica will draw aggro from enemy minions and towers and stays in the world for 7 seconds. This is actually super unique and really cool ability because you can use it to draw tower aggro, but it also activates in midair, just like Decker's rocket boots. So if you're being pursued by an enemy and you jump off of a ledge, kind of from left lane into the jungle, you can actually activate this in midair and jump back up, assuming you're holding the right direction, back up onto the ledge. It's super cool. I've used it to evade some enemies that were chasing me, and then just back. It's cool because also you get to taunt them because you're you tried to kill me, but I'm still alive, and what's up now, sucker? I dig it. She has her Q, which is Glacial Charge. Aurora dashes forward, leaving behind her a trail of ice that other heroes can walk on. She deals 40 ability damage to any enemy she dashes through. This will also go up, basically up ledges, so you can use it to go from the jungle to gold buff, or from the jungle to mid lane up through one of those ledges. You can really use it to get a unique vantage point on an enemy and really just close in on them and do some damage. Moving over to her E, it's Hoarfrost. Aurora creates a ring of hoarfrost on the ground around her. Touching the ring deals ability damage and applies a root for, and then varying amounts of time. The ring remains in this world for varying amounts of time based on how long you've leveled it up. This is actually a pretty good little, either engage mechanic or way to trap ranged heroes into, an area near you. So if you're trying to close in on somebody from behind, I like to get close, throw this around us, and then that way they can't go anywhere because they either have to stay close to me and get whacked a whole bunch, or they run into the root and they take some damage and then still get whacked a whole bunch. Either way, I figure it's a win-win-win, but also they kind of lose, which makes me happy. That's why there's the third win there. And then finally, her ultimate, it's Cryosium. Aurora freezes an area, applying a max movement speed slow to all enemies for 1.5 seconds. After 2 seconds, the ice on the enemies explodes, stunning them for a second and causing 180 ability damage and a small AoE around each target. Enemies inside of the explosion's AoE have a new explosion applied to them. So basically, I like to try and activate this whenever there's enemy heroes surrounded by enemy minions, because that basically turns the little minions into tiny little bombs. It's basically like to break it down, this applies a slow, and then it also will deal ability damage. But if there's any enemy, really any enemies around that enemy that is frozen, like that have also been affected, it's like a chain explosion. It's like boom, 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 boom. You can get a whole lot of burst damage on a bunch of enemies in a very short period of time. It's a cool ability. It's got a relatively long cooldown, almost 2 minutes basically, or a little over 2 minutes. So yeah, you gotta really kind of choose when you're gonna activate this thing. But when you do, oh man, it's just, there will be faces and you will wreck them, all of them. But again, as I mentioned, I feel like a really high skill cap hero. I've enjoyed playing her a whole bunch. I've seen her played well, and I've seen her played not well. So hopefully with this guide, we're going to go ahead and showcase some of the cool ways that she can, just wreck some shop. Looking at her deck, you can see she's basically just all damage. She's a fighter type hero that's really just elusive. So I don't really build much into her in way of survivability. There's some utility there, mostly by way of mana regeneration through early to mid game, and then lifesteal mid to late game, and that just helps her out with her sustainability. Early game, she is pretty mana intensive, and so really just having that mana regeneration helps her out with staying in lane and wrecking some shop. Typically when I start out, I pick up just the healer token and go off lane. Generally speaking, if you're going off lane, that means that you're going up against two people that are going their safe lane, and there's a good chance they're going to be poking at you. So having the healer token is what's going to help keep you in lane longer. I don't find that I typically use her mana very much when I take her off lane. Occasionally, yeah, I do use an ability, but I try and keep that to a minimum, again, just to maintain like being able to stay in lane. After that, I pick up the Madstone Gem and max it out, just because it's super easy to max out, and it's only 5 points, so it's an easy win there early in the game. After that, I go Lord's Award with the basic Chrono and basic Sparks. Again, this is that mana regeneration I mentioned earlier. This helps out keeping you safe and keeping you in lane longer. And in case you have to rotate over and perform a gank, this helps out with, again, that mana regeneration, so you can trap a fool and then slice a fool and then dice a fool, and then maybe chase after them with a Glacier Charge. After that, it's really just kind of up to you. Everything else is kind of 2-2-3 cards. Eventually you end up picking up this Blast Harness with the 2 minor kinetics and the kinetic for that extra crit bonus, which I do love. And there is some lifesteal, as I mentioned, via Brand of the Iron Eater with a little bit of extra crit. It's a super cool little deck. It works out really well, I found. You hit pretty decently late game, really hard mid game, but again, you've got that survivability kind of throughout the whole match, so you can really just kind of stay around and help out your team as much as you can. Generally speaking, I don't grab any of these other cards, but they are there just in case you need them. If you need it to fit your playstyle, absolutely, they're already built in. I'll have a link to this build on agora.gg down below, so you can check it out. Leave me your comments, your thoughts, your feelings, maybe just let me know what you think, really. Hopefully you're able to tweak this to suit your playstyle. So at this point, I'm going to offlane, but I don't run all the way down to my tower. Instead, I stop right in front of the inhibitor, and I wait until minions spawn. In this game, I actually have a decker that decides to go mid or left lane with me. Not sure why. I told her to try and go safe lane with Sparrow a couple of times, but she just wasn't having it. Again, I stop right here because this way I can actually use my Glacial Charge to slow down the minions. Unfortunately, though, because I'm a total noob and I spaced, I didn't quite cut them all off, but I did manage to get most of them except for 2. At this point, I run towards my tower. The reason I do this is because I can actually let the enemy minions push closer to my tower so I can farm safer and more effectively without really worrying about having to get hassled by the enemy team. We've got our lane kind of pushed up a little bit. Decker's being aggressive like she has basically this entire match. And I see that the enemy gadget has rotated just a little bit far and doesn't seem to have any wards, at least not that I've seen. So I decide I'm going to rotate on over to mid and do some gank action. Using Aurora's Glacial Charge, I'm actually able to jump up from the jungle to mid lane, and I use my little Hoarfrost to trap her in place so she can't escape with her speed buff gadget thing. Fortunately, it lets Greystone get the kill, and we keep him from getting hassled too much from that bully gadget. with my work here being done, I pop back over to left lane to help my Decker out some more. So at this point, I'm trying to help out Decker with pushing left lane. I noticed that their steel is pretty weak, so I decided I'm going to try and go in on this guy. I try and freeze him, manage to catch both him and Murdoch. Decker then pops her ult. I pop my ult and try to frozen simulacrum out, but Steel pops his ult. I bounce off of his head and into his tower range, and it kills me, which sucks. I decide it's time for take 2. I rotate over to the jungle, just in time to see an invisibility buff. Man, the RNG gods love me. I grab it, I run back over to left lane, and let Decker know that I am on my way. I decide not to attack immediately. I instead try and bide my time just to see what happens, what the enemy team does. As I decide to kind of hang out, I notice Decker pops her ult, enemy minions show up, I pop my ult to make those sweet juicy little minion bombs. Unfortunately, I'm able to like step in Murdoch's trap, but it doesn't matter because he's still frozen. I hit him with my little Orfrost and just trap him and whack him away. Unfortunately, though, Steel gets away, but can't win them all. So now, running from safe lane, I'm going back to mid lane. We've gotten all 3 of their tier 1 towers down. They've gotten 2 of ours, and Gadget here is just not being cool about this and is wailing on our mid lane. Greystone and I decided we're going to go ahead and close in. I pop my ult just to get that freezing action so she can't get away. And then we start to proceed to whack on her. I pop my Frost just as she starts to get away, and it ends up letting me secure that fun, awesome kill action. So this is a little bit into the game. We've pushed up most of their lanes. I'm trying to hang out and see if there's anybody here in mid lane I can gank when I notice that our Sparrow is getting in trouble on right side. But she's retreating, but I don't think she's actually going to make it. So I use my Frost to go from the jungle up to gold buff, which is a cool thing you can do just as Fang Mao tries to retreat. Fortunately, I'm able to trap him, get some extra damage on him. Then I pop my ult, and it explodes, giving me my 5th kill of the match. At this stage of the game, our Twin Blast has actually been AFK or is DC'd for like 5 minutes now, and I didn't notice until just after this point, but the enemy team must have also noticed because they decided to push our right lane tower hard. I Glacial Charge in, I pop my ult, pop my Orfrost, try and get as much damage on the enemy team as I can. Unfortunately though, just because there's so many of them and there's so few of us, I'm not able to focus anybody down, so I escape. We decided to just go ahead and try and play some holding action here. I'm trying to just beat away on their minions when Fang Mao decides I might be an easy target. So I say, no thank you, with some icy death. Right now I'm just playing some defense, and I noticed that our poor Decker is just getting rocked. Unfortunately, there was nothing I could do to save her, so I decided to try and back up a little bit, and I noticed that Murdoch is running my way. Now, I've killed him a couple times before, and I decided it's time for another death for him. I trap him with my Orfrost, beat away at him for a little bit, and actually use my Glacial Charge to secure the killing blow, which is not something I expected. I know that a few of them are behind me, so I go to jump off into the jungle and use my Frozen Simulacrum to jump back into the lane. Fortunately, it splits them up. I managed to get this Fang Mao trapped, and I noticed a steal. So, being trapped, I decided to pop my ult just to get him like kind of stuck a little bit longer. He manages to escape, pop off his ult, and then he starts to go for our Sparrow, who is super weak. I use my Glacial Charge to like dive in between them and beat away at him, giving Sparrow enough time to survive and secure the kill. Here we are, almost an hour into the game. Our team, 4v5, has managed to take down 2 of their inhibitors, take Orb Prime, and now we're pushing on their core. I've basically beaten away at their minions. I just dropped that Murdoch like he's non-existent, basically. He's made of wet paper towels and tissues. And then the same thing with the steel. Then we turn around and we just nuke their core quickly, easily. It was awesome. It was such a cool match. My entire team played really well. Everybody basically played their hearts out, even with us being down 5v4. So there you guys go. I hope that you enjoyed. Aurora is, again, I feel like a character with a very high skill cap. She's a lot of fun to play. She can set up her own kills. She can set up team kills. She can really fit in with some synergy. Though if you see an Aurora on the enemy team, my advice would basically be, nuke her down as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you're going to be the victim of some CC and some burst damage, because she can burst you down pretty quickly, especially if there's any friendly minions or other heroes around. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button down below. Leave a comment. Let me know your favorite plays of Aurora. And hope you guys subscribe. Okay, thanks. Bye.